What's good, my idol manglers? Today, I have a very special video planned for you. Now, as you know, maybe, if you, not a long time ago, maybe a month ago, maybe a little bit more, I made a community post basically asking, I need video recommendations because I am running out of video ideas and I need some more because I want to keep this very, very consistent posting schedule up because the goal is to hit 2K by the end of this year. Maybe 3K, it's a bit of a stretch, but the goal is to hit 2K by the end of this year. So I wanted to upload 3 times a week. The problem with uploading 3 times a week is I start running out of ideas. And I can't just do a manga collection every single fucking video. So someone recommended for me to, before I get into that, I still have the creative juices going. I still have planned videos, but got to a point I started, not having them. So why this video is kind of like a month and a half late. Now for the real topic. My favorite protagonists. Someone recommended, not just someone, a person who's been commenting on this channel for a while. I know who you are, by the way. He recommended I make a protagonist video, like my favorite protagonist, and my favorite antagonist video. 2 different videos. I make those 2 different videos. So I'm here to say my favorite protagonist. And I just made this list pretty quick. I do want to give some honorable mentions before I start. 1, Luffy. Luffy should definitely be on this list, but didn't really know where to place him. He's just not really one of my favorites. Like, I love One Piece and I love Luffy as a protagonist. I think he's an incredibly underrated protagonist, but he's just not the best part of his manga. He's just not one of the best parts of his manga. So, yeah, but he's incredible. I also wanted to put Isagi from Blue Lock on this list, and I just didn't really know where to fit him. He just didn't make it on the list. And my last honorable mention, which this one hurts a lot, it is the main character of Gantz. I forgot his name, which is probably why I don't really like him very much. But the main character of Gantz did not, sadly, make it on this list. And Sakuragi from Slam Dunk didn't make it on this list. But, I mean, we still have some great main characters. So, I'm going to just start with the first manga, or the first protagonist, that I think is definitely my 10th favorite protagonist, at least right now. He is so well written. He is such a great protruder of his world, he's just like he's so dynamic with everything he interacts with, and he has such a great story that is being told. I actually have to read his name because I forgot about it, but it's Kamya from Full Night. Now I know you're saying Full Night is a manga that only has 3 volumes out. The 4th volume is coming out soon, and I've only read 3 volumes. And I know that there's so many other manga that I've read so much longer, and so many other things. I have so many other characters I could put on this list. I don't care. Full Night is so good. I will keep saying this. I will literally send to a famous YouTuber, if anyone wants to do this, a famous YouTuber, Full Night and Versus, the 2 most underrated manga of all time. I will literally send those manga to them and be like, go read these and go talk about them. Because these 2 manga are so fucking good. It's insane. It's like, it is so crazy how they're just not recognized at all. But let me actually talk about why I like Kamya. Now, why I like Kamya is, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but is because he is the perfect, like, not straight man, but he is the perfect average man in a world that is so diluted with color and diluted with, is so saturated, and he is a perfect, symbol of that, if that makes sense. Like, he is a great protruder of that idea of how bleak this flower-led world is. Now, if you don't know the plot of the manga, it's basically this world, no sunlight whatsoever for some reason. I completely forgot why. They have to put seeds in people. They have to put seeds in people and turn them into plants. And our main character goes through that surgery, and because his life is totally shit. And he comes about the other end with only 2 years left to live, but he can talk to plants. So he is he's a great source of, he's like a great helper with the police and stuff. Like, with a lot of cases dealing with plants. But the reason why I put this main character here is because of the way he's portrayed in this very bleak and homicidal world, where he's not like a sunshine, a ray of hope in this like very just edgy, like, not edgy is not the right word, but just like a bleak world. He's not like this sunshine of hope, but he's more of like a possessor of it. He just like, I don't know how to explain it, but he is like the average person you would find in a world like this, if that makes sense. Like, he only has 2 years left to live, which is a great emphasizer of the horror in this manga and the exceeding time limit that we have. He just wants to find his life meaning. He's a very like normal person in a sci-fi horror world, and it's protruded so well, and it's just shown through him so goddamn well. Like, I absolutely love the portrayal of our main character, the way he's like, the way he's like, I don't even know, like, I can't explain shit. The way he's just trying to make sense of it all. I think that's the best way to put it. The way he's stuck in this endless cycle of people just being transformed, like, inhumanely into plants, and he just has to be a part of this cycle, and he's just trying to grasp a reach toward on what is his life goal, how can he fulfill his life, and he's going on such an amazing journey. Like, I already know as this manga goes on and it gets better, if it gets better, hopefully, pray to God it gets better, that this main character goes on an even better journey than what he's on right now, because it's even more perfect. Like, yeah. That's all I have to talk about with Full Night. It's incredible. And honestly, it being number 10 is an accomplishment on its own. It beat fucking Luffy, for Christ's sake. And it beat Ichigo, and it beat Naruto. Spoiler alert, they're not on this list. Next. Honestly, you could probably, if you knew what my collection looked like every single video, you could probably, like, know what, like, characters I'm going to use just based off the volumes I take off the shelf. But never mind that. My next favorite main character, number 9, is Kaiji from Kaiji. This is basically Squid Game. Kaiji's basically Squid Game. The main character is like a better version of the main character in Squid Game. He is this very down on his luck loser who is an incredible genius. And I think what makes him such a good character, like Kaiji right here, is he's not portrayed as a like secret mastermind that knows how to play the game 100%. Like, he's just as lost as everyone else. And in so many of the games he plays, he just finds a way to grasp at the smallest straws that he can and just claw his way to survival. It is such a cathartic feeling. Like, the way like the author expresses the story through the main character and the way the character's emotions act with the pacing and the paneling of the story is so fucking good. Like, we are truly set into the eyes of this main character, and he is such a good, just like Kamya, he is such a good average man in a world of games and riddles and jokes and tricks. He is such a good just answerer, if that makes sense. All right, next, I got a main character that was definitely the best part of his manga, and that is, I don't even know his name. Okay, Nakoshi Susumu. Nakoshi Susumu from Homunculus, Volume 1, the entire manga, because I read the entire manga. I don't really know how to explain why I love Nakoshi so much. Like, oh, excuse me. Like, Nakoshi. Yeah, Nakoshi. Nakoshi is such he's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a story told around him. Like, what he experiences, we experience. Anything that happens outside of him, we barely know anything about. And the story that he takes himself on, and the plot twist centered around him, and every single element that is about this character, about the mystery of who he even is so well thought out and so well planned and so well written that by the end it is almost creepy how confusing this ending is, and the story and the path that the main character goes on by the end of this manga is such a confusing but also exhilarating tale, and it just questions every single thing you think about the manga. And to say praises about the main character is to say praises about the entire manga, because the main character is the manga. Like, I legit could not see this manga being told from any other perspective besides Nakoshi, and he does such a good job at expressing what his like emotions are, what he feels, what he thinks in the moments of very, very well-paced writing. All right, next, I don't want to make this video too long because I also want to film another video, but next I have, what is this, that's 10, 9, 8, this is number 7. I have the main character, well, I guess his name is The Fable, because we don't really know his name, but it's The Fable, from The Fable. Crazy to go from Homunculus, which is a giant-ass omnibus, to The Fable, which is also an omnibus, but just not as big. Why do I love this main character so much? It's not even like a writing thing. Like, would I ever say like a character is well written? I don't mean like I don't mean like a character can be fun and not be well written. What I mean when a character is well written, I mean they make me think psychological ideas and they make me experience very deep, unprovoked emotions I only get through real life experiences. That's what I mean when something is well written. But something can be well written by just being funny, because the author needs to know how to make funny jokes, or like when I'm having fun with something, when I'm enjoying a manga, just because I'm not bawling my eyes out or rethinking my entire fucking perspective on an issue in the world, does not mean a character is not well written or a story is not well written. If the author knows how to make a good time, then that's a well written good time. As long as you're enjoying what you're reading, then it's well written. But that's my little side tangent. I'll talk about it in the next hot takes video, probably, maybe. The Fable. Let's talk about this. Yeah, I mean, I basically just expressed my opinion. The best part about this character is he's funny as shit. He's the funniest part of this manga. He's so good. He's so fun. His dialogue is so good. The way he talks to people is so good. His comedy is great. Like, I know I just dick sucked the last 3 manga. I talked about how well written their main characters are. They got beat by this guy because of how funny his jokes are and how entertaining he is. Like, he is the best. Honestly, he is one of the best examples and one of the best showcases of an overpowered MC. This manga does it so right. It's incredible. It's so good. All right, next. This one's kind of cheating because this is like 3 main characters, but it's Real. Real has 3 main characters. I think one of them's Takumi. Hold on. What's their names? What is their names, bro? What is their names? Nomiya. There's Nomiya. There's, I don't even know. Whatever. One of them's Takumi, I'm pretty sure. One of the guy who gets in the wheelchair is Takumi. These main characters are incredible. Each of them have a different story based on the idea of self-learning and teaching yourself and becoming better and getting stronger and what it means to get a second chance. And it's told through 3 very different perspectives on sports and disability and what that entails for the person getting it. One is someone who just got a disability, who was originally an asshole, and he learns that nobody even cares about him. Nobody will come to his new room. Nobody will visit him. His parents are doing the best that he can, but he just doesn't know how to act. And this sudden change of events is crippling. Pun intended. Pun not intended. Please, the pun is not intended. But it is so crippling on his mindset, on his beliefs, that he just doesn't know how to act anymore. And it is so damaging to him. Another character was incredibly reckless and incredibly just stupid with stuff, like a biker gang guy. He just rode bikes and stuff, and he asked this girl if he wanted to get on his bike, and for some reason she did, and they crashed, and she ends up in a wheelchair, and he's totally fine, and he has to deal with the huge amount of guilt that he feels, while also the fact that he drops out of high school, he also has to find his path and his meaning of life and what he has to do with it. And every single time he tries to find a new way to learn, a new way to be himself, a way to experience that feeling of becoming a better person. He's just those opportunities are taken away from him bit by bit, and he crumbles more and more and more. And you see him starting to get happier and happier, and you realize that his meaning of life is not these quote unquote paths that he's trying to go on. It's the path he's already on. It's the path that he's paving for himself every single day. No one path is narrow. It is so unlinear. He doesn't even know how to go through it. And the last character is a wheelchair basketball player who has to deal with the fact that he used to be one of the best young runners at his school, and he got a leg infection, and the fact that his dream was taken away from him and he wasn't able to experience that anymore. It was almost like a loss of a loved one. And it doesn't help that his father is still dealing with the loss of his mother. And they're all so well entwined, and they're all so well connected, and every single character is so good, and it's building up to one of the best climactic moments I think I'll ever read in manga. Period. Like, as much as I want to say manga like Haikyuu, manga like The Boxer, manga like One Piece will stay in my top 3, there is such a high chance that they get taken and new manga come around, and I like them even more. Real and this climax that is going to happen, and if the way it goes happens, I know 100% it'll be one of the greatest moments that I've ever read in manga. Period. That's real. It's really, really good. It's also one of the rarest manga I have in my collection. I'm so happy I bought it. Thank you, everyone in the comment section. Say thank you, East Coast Manga. Because that brother is a G. He only sold me like $15 a volume, bro. Do you know how cheap that is, bro? I tried to buy real. It was like 6 volumes for $1K, bro. Hey, everyone say thank you, East Coast Manga, bro. He's actually the GOAT. Okay. Next, I have a bit of a unorthodox pick. And it is you, not you, the reader, not you. You, that's his name, from The Boxer. Now, I know I just gave my praises about Real and stuff, and it's like, how could a other manga be better than Real? I don't really know. Just the idea of this main character, just like the idea and the actions that he takes and what he represents in each fight is just so like much more experimental that I just have to give it its props. Like, I'm not gonna glaze it like I did for Real. I hate that term, by the way. I keep saying it. I keep saying like dick sucking and glazing. Can I just compliment something that I like, please? Do I have to keep going, stop doing backflips on it? Can I just compliment something I like? Like, why are we adverse to complimenting things that we enjoy? You know? Why is that bad now? Yeah, I really like The Boxer, and it's actually my second favorite manga of all time, and the main character is one of the best characters in this book. And it's crazy, too, that I put the main character of this so damn high, and there's actually characters I like more than him. And I think our quote, better written, my definition. That was low-key a bar. Better definition, better written, my definition? That was low-key a bar. Okay. After that, in my top 4, I can't believe Real didn't make the top 5. That's actually insane. That's actually insane. Real didn't make the top 5. They're incredible, though. At my number 4 spot, I have Alice in Borderland. My phone was at 20%. The next is Alice in Borderland, which is the main character of Arisu. I promise I'm not reading the back. I know his name is Arisu. Arisu is just... The reason I like Arisu so much is because of he is the symbol of the meaning of life. Like, he's like... He is the definition of what this manga's theme is. And it is such a beautiful and just cinematic theme, and the way it's expressed through the main character and all the characters, and the story is so well written and so beautiful. I just love it. I love how Arisu starts off the manga as this character who just doesn't know what to do with his life. He just plays video games all day. Like, he just doesn't like to really do anything, and he's just bored with life. Like, he's like, school's a drag. He just hangs out with his friends all day, and by the end of the manga, he learns that the meaning of life is not something that is a concrete answer. The meaning of life is the idea of you as a regular person striving for something and creating your meaning for your own life. That is the manga's definition of the meaning of life. And Arisu expresses that so goddamn well in that ending. That ending solidified this spot for me. It is so good. I love Arisu as a main character. And it is hard, like, I know I went crazy with Real. Real has 3 main characters that are all incredible. I would put Arisu above all 3. As a main character. Now, if you want to combine all 3 of them and say, like let's say on a scale of 0 to 100, best main characters, 100 being my favorite main character, and then 0 being, like, I don't know, the Kagurabachi main character or some shit. I don't know, I just like hating on Kagurabachi for no reason. But let's say 0 is, like, the worst protagonist of all time. All of Real's protagonists are, like, at a 95. Arisu is at a 96. Yu is at a 96. If we combine all the main characters of Real together, they automatically beat him. But because I'm just going off the main characters, Arisu and Yu beat him. That's just how my math is working. That's how my math is mathing. All right, we're in our top 3. And obviously, I will actually never make a video without putting this manga in some kind of top 10 list, because it is my favorite manga of all time, and I only talk about it. It's Haikyuu. I feel like I've talked a lot about Haikyuu and why I like it so much. I feel like a lot of people know why I like it so much. And even when I do try to talk about it, I'm flabbergasted. Like, what's the damn word? I'm speechless. There we go. Speechless. I just don't really know how to talk about this manga because of how much it means to me, and especially for the character of Hinata. Hinata is, like, he's just so good. 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 His journey is incredible. That's all I gotta say. I'm just not even gonna talk about it too much because I have a lot more to talk about these next 2. Really, this last one. Well, next I have Beastars. I have Legoshi from Beastars. It is my second favorite main character of all time. And I'm going to say something a bit ironic, especially because this is a manga about animals. This is the best interpretation of a teenager I've ever read. I kid you not, this is the best interpretation of a teenager I've ever read. And the reason I say that is because Legoshi is not really a great person. Like, he is. He has a heart of gold, but he does stuff in the most teenager-ass way I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, instead of talking to the authorities, he just goes beat up a mafia gang. For no reason. Call the police, brother. Call the police. What are you doing? And he does it in such a noble way. It is like he literally falls absolutely perfectly on the line. It's like him and the main character of Tokyo Avengers fall perfectly on the line of extremely well written and extremely cringy, and it's literally, like, perfectly there. It is perfectly there. Well, actually, the line would be between extremely unrealistic teenager, which is just like the nicest motherfucker of all time, and then extremely cringy teenager, which is just super unlikable, who wants to read about a Discord moderator. He's literally on that line, bro. That brother is not tippy-toeing on it. He is atomizing on that line. And Legoshi does that for me in every single way possible. His dialogue is so good. It definitely, like, signified, one, when I read his mother's backstory, and it provided so much context on why Legoshi is the way that he is. But 2, there's one scene, they actually sadly cut it out of the anime. Very sad, I'm very sad about that. But there's one scene in this manga where he meets this, like, sheep or whatever, and the sheep is very, like, just very not encouraged at her job because her carnivore coworkers just call her by nicknames. They don't even look at her in the eye. They just don't care about her. Like, they don't see her as, like, another person on their level. And she feels that in this world where carnivores exist, she feels like she's just being looked down on every single waking moment. And the moment she meets someone like Legoshi, and Legoshi talks to these people, and they actually start giving a damn about her, she gets pissed because she spent 14, 15 years trying to appeal to these people, trying to make connections, and it didn't work. And she's one of the best employees at her job, and Legoshi takes 5, 10, a minute to lay it on and to fix the problem. And it pisses her off, and it gets to a point where she basically offers herself up as food. There's like this thing on a subway where in the world, if you tap your cheeks or some shit, you're basically signifying to carnivores that you're food. And she does this in front of Legoshi because of how distraught she feels that just because someone is a carnivore, they fixed a 15-year-old problem that she was dealing with. And Legoshi, instead of being like, oh, I can eat her, I can do it, I can eat her, I have permission, he throws her out of the subway being like, that is the biggest insult you could have given to all carnivores. The fact that you did that on the train is one of the biggest insults you could have given. Like the fact that you think that all of us carnivores are just waiting to gnaw on prey, waiting to eat these herbivores is such a big and messed up stereotype that you implemented by doing this action, and it pissed me off. And the fact that he's able to express that, it is one of the most well-written scenes in the entire manga. Nobody talks about it, which is fine. But it's one of the most well-written scenes in the entire manga. I fucking love that scene. And I read it all the time. And it's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I think Legoshi is one of the best main characters. Really in fiction. Honestly, if you want to go there in fiction. Honestly, if you want to go there, in nonfiction too. Like, it's not even nonfiction. Brother, who's competing in nonfiction, bro? Hitler and like the Schindler's List or whatever? The brother was trash. Well, I guess he would be the antagonist. But, like, who competed? Like, who is realistically competing? Nobody. Okay. Number one, maybe not a big surprise. This has been my favorite main character for so long, and it finally clicked on why I love this main character so much. I'm not going to tell him too much because this video is already 30 minutes long. But it finally clicked because of the last 2 volumes I read. And this series / main character, I actually know his full name by heart just because of how much I like this guy. I'm literally gonna look away. I can't see the back. His name is Yatora Yaguchi. Bro, I got him, bro. Yatora Yaguchi. He's the GOAT. He's actually the greatest main character ever written. From Blue Period. One of my favorite manga of all time. And the reason I like this main character so much is because of his journey, the themes he goes through, the lessons he learns, and the way he expresses those, and the way he deals with his own emotion and inner turmoil. That's why I love this main character so much. And I think that's where I'm going to end it. I don't want to talk about this main character too much, just because, I don't know. I just don't want to because this video is already too long. And I already talked about all these other characters so much more. And just know, if you want an incredible main character, go to Blue Period. Go to B-Stars. Go to Real. Like, realistically, if I did the thing where I added up all the scores or whatever, Real would be number 1. Real would have the best main character I've ever read. Maybe number 2 behind Blue Period. It's those 3. Those 3 are so fucking incredible as the 3 separate protagonists. Okay. That is all I have to say today. Thank you guys for watching. I'm so tired. If you made it to the end of this video, drop a playing card emoji in the comment section down below. I keep getting these comments that are like, idol mangler, bro. They don't have a fucking apple emoji in the comment section. What do I do? How? How do they not have this emoji? You must be on Android or some shit, bro. You must be on some Chinese company, bro. There's no way they don't have this specific emoji that I talked about. So, whatever. They must have a playing card. Actually, that one's kind of a stretch. But they have to have some kind of card, maybe a postcard, newsletter, piece of paper, playing card. I don't care. Anything that is made out of the fabric fibers of fucking wood, printed out, any of that shit, put in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. Next Monday, I'm so exhausted. Monday is gonna be the antagonist video, and Wednesday will probably be the hot takes video. I don't really know yet. I'll have to figure out my schedule, and then after that, we'll see. After that, I'll probably do a manga haul. Maybe, I don't know if all my manga comes. All right. Thank you. Goodbye.